Before I start doing the drawing, I'm gonna first do a little placement, right? So what is this the whole picture look like, and how I'm gonna compose it? So I'm gonna put it right here. So say this is the space I'm going to use, like this, a little bit like a triangle coming down, and I'm gonna leave the bottom right in here. Very soft, okay? Don't use it too hard, and we make it too hard and difficult to change because we expect to change it before come to something we really like. Okay, so it's kind of light, and it just draw a little bit more, and making sure we know that where is going to be the bottom, and I'm going to move it even a little bit lower like that, and have the leg over here, and we're going to talk more about measuring, and we're going to dedicate it in the measurement in a week so you can get it. So now we're going to take a look at maybe the top over here a little bit higher. Okay, so those are very fundamental uh, in the process of drawing, any drawing or any painting. Now I'm gonna come in the bottom way, take a look at on this side, coming on the over here, and then take a look at this. The wing over here is the angel, the shoulder probably here, and coming down over here, and the bottom over here coming through a little bit over here like that. But you can see that on this side, it actually should be a little bit higher, and this a little bit lower. So you can see the whole thing coming like this. All right. So today I'm not going to talk too much about the proportion angular measurements. So I'm going to do a really quick compare between the side left and to the right of the bottom. Compare from the legs, the bottom of the foot, the heel of the foot coming up, and actually all the way coming to about here. From here to here equals to from here to here. So I'm going to take a look at that. And when you do this again and again, your sense would be much easier as matching to what you want. Like the left and the right. Now I get that. I already did the measuring compared to, compare the different places in the whole, in the reference. So I can find this, that's good. Like that. And then now the head is about the top over here, the bottom over here. Now I'm going to take a look at whether or not the head is about 1/3 of the whole height and all different. And actually here, 1, 2, there is the top of the foot. And the top of the foot, so it's a half of a head. So like a 2.5, that become the whole height. Okay. Top over here to here. Now I'm going to divide into 1, 2. It's about 1 and 2. And this is a half of this. I'm going to take a look at that. Make sure that this equals to the top over here. That's perfect. And now the bottom over here is a half. Okay, you see that? Half of this. Half of a head. So this is good. So also this will be top of the foot. So now they make it very easy. On the left to the right, I can see that it may be 1/3 somewhere. So I'm going to take a look at the right side over here, 2. Oh, not exactly. And 2. And this is almost the middle. The middle. The middle over here is the side of the foot is right over here. And okay. So whatever you work for you, and then use it and make your own measuring system. And first you can use my system, and then gradually you come up with yours. Okay, that's the foot over here. That's also another foot over here. Like that. And then on this side, the leg coming up, and And from here to here, from the to the actually from here halfway, I think that is the elbow. So get over here, that's the elbow. That's the leg coming down like this. And then the elbow over here come up to, it may be wrong. It's always good to get a measure. So I think this can be a little bit higher. Here you go. Now figure this all those out, and then we're going to start drawing the line like that. Come a little bit more on this side. All right. There's some garment. But today is not about measuring techniques. But I just want to show you how I make my decision, and then we're gonna get to the point about start drawing the lines and how we draw the line with intention. Okay, that's the hand on this side. Okay, they're coming over here. This one, and take a look at the angle of this. That's a little coming this way. Okay, here you go. I'm gonna get to it really quick. Now we know already know the face is sitting right in here, coming all the top over here. Now we can see that the eye is about the midpoint from the top to the chin. You always have some guidelines in your head, and then when you are using it, you go directly to find out, double check whether or not this is correct. And the nose a little bit higher because she is looking a little bit higher. And the mouth over here, and the mouth like that, and the chin like this. There you go. Now, a little bit looking more like looking up a little bit. There's a lot of things going on in this picture. Okay, now coming on this side. Let's take a look. And then there's a cut it into 3. 1, 2, and 3. Keep in mind this only is sketching. Only get the very preliminary placement to find out all those things where they are. And I think I have them. And I'm going to take a look at closely. I look at the face. I don't really feel the face is turning up. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to start it again. And take a look. I'm going to use the hard charcoal pencil. Here you go. Now I'm going to take a look. And first, the side of this side of the eye right here. You can see that the eye over here. That, and then the nostril. You can see the nostril over here. That is very good indication. And then the side of the face, you can see the whole side of the face like that. On the other side, and you can see the mouth over here, and see the lower lip of the mouth like here. That look much better, and the eye need to be higher. That, and actually the whole thing need to be lower instead, because I should not move the eye a little bit higher to make up for it, because the eye should be in the midpoint of the whole head like that. Okay, now I'm going to make the nose a little bit lower, and nostril right over here, and then see the eye, and like that. That's good. And the mouth is still staying in the same place. So now you can see that the angel is looking up instead of looking down. And I think she's always looking up, isn't it, huh? Okay, like that. Now we find all the placement. And you can take a look at that. Is that this the whole head? It looks like a circle. It may be yes, but I think this has come in a little bit. And in the middle over here, come in a little. And like that. And I think the width of the head a little bit less than the height of the head. So you come back a little bit like that. So those are also useful for our portrait challenge. And when you start drawing any portrait, you have to find all the placement. All right, now you come back to the important part of this demonstration. That is how we're going to find the line and how to describe the line. So you can use the graphite pencil for this drawing, or you can use the charcoal. It's totally up to you. And what would you like to do? The charcoal or the graphite? What is it? Charcoal? In that case, you can stay with charcoal then. Okay, now I'm going to talk about when the line is thick. I'm going to show you on the next page. When you use the line like this, really, really thick, like this, and that area looks like more represent as the shadow. And when the line have really thin, and then get a little bit thicker, and then a very thin, and you can feel it. This area is actually in the light. But also some area need to have a little bit softer. Like for example, the area of the nostril. And you're going to use that is a little bit softer. That's the nostril. So the side of the nose like this, a thin line. When you get to the nostril, get a little bit thicker. Like that. A little bit softer. It doesn't have to be very thick. And then the eyebrows, it also have some transition. The eyebrows, you can see a little bit bigger. The eyebrows like this, right? Have some transition from dark to light. So when you're drawing that, you can actually use a very soft transition like that. So this is the eyebrows, right? And you can actually extend the line a little bit. Because however, this area, it actually have some transition. And gradually from light to turn to dark. And you can see that from here to here, they're actually a place. They're actually turning and turning down. So that's why it has some shadow, has less light over here. Now coming to the eye, and the eye over here, and coming down over here, it has a little sharper, but underneath there is the shadow. So it has a little bit darker. So be a little careful about how the line is going to be sharper or softer or thin or thick. Okay, so I'm going to come back to this drawing. I'm going to talk about that as we go through the whole drawing process. And I don't want this to be in the back. It looks like I'm going to put this on the side. Okay. All right. Now we're going to focus on, take a look at the head. Okay, now I'm going to start from the top over here. Now clean up those line. So only placement only. Now I'm going to start over here like that, and starting from the top over here. A little bit thinner. And I'm going to skip a little bit and coming over here. Now I'm going to draw a little thin line coming over here. Now I'm going to make a little bit thicker line. Now put it down a little bit. Last week we talked about that, make it a little bit thicker and thinner. And then over here, a little bit thinner. Now when you get to the bottom over here, now we see a little bit thicker and thicker coming up. Now you can see the hair, it represents by those very simple soft line. And then coming back over here in the top, a little bit like this, moving around. And on this side, now I'm going to put it down a little bit thicker, like that. And then on this side is actually shadow. I'm going to move it like this and have the top over here a little bit thinner, like that. There's something on the top. And I may not really want that to be so connected, so I'm going to have a little bit softer, make it a little bit. And now we come down to the forehead. Now it looks like, now I just make this a little bit to inside so we can push everything in. Now I'm going to take a look at, and maybe redo the forehead over here. I'm going to do another line and coming out over here. Here you go. Now coming this way, coming down, and then make a little bit thicker. Now a little bit thicker like that. Here you go. And thicker like this. And a little bit thicker coming up. That's fine. Now I'm going to take a look at the forehead. Now I'm going to have a little bit thinner, a pretty thin line. And coming over here, coming all the way. Hold on. Coming a little bit thinner, coming all the way, coming over here. Here you go. Now we're gonna have a little bit triangle, so use a little soft over here like that, and a little bit thinner. That's good. And now in the eye, have a little bit thicker. Now take a look at the nose, and now continue over here, and very thin, a little sharp, and turning around. Now at the bottom of the nose, now we're going to make it a little bit soft and thicker. And now you can see the nostril. Take a look at that. The nostril need to be a little bit higher, like that. A little bit soft. That's nostril. On the side over here is a very soft area. So it's a very soft line, like that. And doesn't need to be so dark, so I can redo this line. It'll be very, very soft, like that. Just use the line. Now take a look at over here. Now I'm going to start moving that. And then coming down over here. Now a soft line. Coming down over here. And then here you go. And then now take a look at under here. There is the lower lip. Also a little bit soft, a little bit thicker. Like that. It doesn't have to be very accurate, but it represents what is like. That's important. On the side over here in the face, now I'm going to see a very thin line. Okay, look at it, the direction of the line. Thin line. Now coming down over here. Now I'm going to start change the way of the pencil. Now I'm going to very soft, like that. And the bottom over here. And then on the top over here is very, very soft line. Okay, a very soft line, like that. And there's a little soft line, and a little bit thicker, soft line like this. And here you go. And that's right. On the under here should have also a little bit very soft line, like that. So this with the other eye. Okay, so this is the face of the angel. Now we're going to, on this side, the hand, the other hand, I'm going to have it should be very thin line from here, like where's the star, the place of the mouth, right? The place of the mouth, and then over here. Now take a look at very thin line, and then also a little soft, and now see a little curved line, and then gradually get a little bit thinner. Are you ready? A little bit thinner, coming all the way over here, a little thinner, and now coming down, get a little bit thicker. So you see this whole area, it represents the volume of all this, and it's coming down like that. And now on this side, this hand, a little bit soft, like that, and now a little thin, and then do a little curve. Now keep going with the line, look, then draw, look, analyze it, and draw coming down over here. Now I'm going to start, pick a little soft line coming over here, all the way to this side, like that. Now on this side of the hand, also make a little bit soft, put it down like that. So it has a very intention and how the line would move on this side. I'm gonna come here like all the way, coming here very soft and stop and coming up. So it looks like it should be a little bit earlier. So I'm gonna do it again and coming over here and like that. And now on this side, a very, very soft line coming all the way coming up and to the shoulder, because this is shadow. And on this side, there's a thicker line like that. So the line, they are very intentional. There's this very thick line. If I have a compressed charcoal stick, I can one sweep, and there's a little thicker line on in the shadow, like that. So I'm not going to finish the whole thing before you start the exercise. I'm going to just, I think this would already give you the idea of where is this, seeing that very light, very thin, and you're just going to use thin line. Like coming to the back over here, see that? Now I'm going to put it down, right? I'm going to have this line coming over here and twist it again, and now coming softly, join it over here. I'm going to have a little line over here, see that, little soft, and move it over here and lift it up and then come down. And the same thing over here, little soft. When it's a soft line, keep it soft. You don't have to make it too dark, too confined. And a little line, okay, there's a little line over here, a little soft, and then another line coming this way, and then coming, twisting. Now you can come all the way, join it here, and maybe a little bit over here too, like that. So you see a simple rendering of line. You may not think this is really, really simple, but the idea is you need to give some thought into how to render each of the line, and so that the line is telling better message. Like over here, I'm gonna over here and start turning. Now put it down like this, that way. I'm gonna have a little shape like this over here and put it down, and then softly connect that over there. I'm going to do another one like this, and here you go, a little bit darker, a little bit over here, a little bit darker. Now finish a shape. Now there's a little shape over here too, and those are not really dark. And when you get a little bit here, a little bit soft, I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to put it like that. I'm going to moving it down like that. You see how thick the line and soft like this. It's already connected. So this still considered a line, right? On this side, I'm gonna have a little bit soft, like that, a little bit soft. But over here, I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner, a little bit more clear. Now over here, like that, and put it down over here, right here as well. Connect that, and maybe a little bit darker over here. Now over here should be soft line, and have a little bit soft line. And now finish the whole shadow over here by using soft line. Now that's just good. I'm gonna have a little bit clear on the top over here, like that. That looks really good, right? So this is how we are using the line. Thicker, thinner. I'm gonna have this, and the shoulder, some catch the shadow. And you can consider all those are line rendering. I can have a little bit line on the side over here to enforce it. So if let's continue to do a little bit more over here. I'm gonna have the thin line over here, and see that this line should be thin. But however, when you look at the reference, there's no such thing. They're all shape. They're not all shading. That's not really line, but we invent the lines as is the our language of drawing. Okay, like this over here. I'm gonna invent a little thin line, like over here. Make a little curve coming over here. I'm gonna have a little line over here from here, and all the way turning. Look before you draw it. Now get to the bottom over here. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker, a little bit soft, like that. That's a beautiful line, right? So as you're drawing with this kind of mindset, yeah, step by step, somewhere need to be softer, somewhere need to be thicker, somewhere need to be more clear defined, okay? And the little foot over here, I'm gonna have a little line over here, okay, like that. And then come on this side, there is a big line. You see that? We have a big line. I'm going to get a group of line over here. Now, that's good. I'm going to have a little darker line on the bottom. It's just now just think about line, line, line. I'm going to draw the individual toes a little bit later. I'm going to let go and then come down again. There's a little line. Look again before you go for it. I'm going to have a little line over here, continue, and so on. And now you can see how the line can gradually compose with the different intention and meaning compose a drawing, right? So later we're going to use a little shading like this. Okay, I'm going to have a little bit over here and do a little shading over here. But today we just focus on how to invent the line with thin and thick, soft, clear, all those things, and create the feeling of the line and the intention of the line. Now I'm going to continue onto the wing. Now the same thing, I'm holding it like this, the same way that you will hold the charcoal pencil. Now I'm going to start doing a little bit softer, like that, and down over here, and move a little line like this. This charcoal a little bit softer, so be a little careful. I don't want to push it a little bit too much. And take a look at that. I'm going to softly start making the turn, and put it down a little bit lower, like that, and a little bit softer, coming over here. I'm not going to divide those whole group, but I'm going to start over here and a little bit coming down. And if you miss a couple feather, that is fine, okay? And then over here, softly, and then a little bit curve, and then here you go. Now a little bit over here, like that, and a little bit over here, and then a couple more, like this, and right, that's good. Oh, Okay, all right, I'm gonna coming over here, one curve, another curve, and put it very low. Now coming over here, I'm not gonna make it a little bit thicker, like that. It's okay. It may not be exactly look like that. And I'm gonna 1 and 2 and 3. And then coming over here, 1, let's put it thick, a little bit thicker, because it's a little bit darker color on the edge over here. Now I got that. And the middle over here, I'm gonna have a little bit thinner, like that, coming over here and over there. So see a little bit the middle of the feather, like that. And I'm gonna have some really soft. You see that how soft is you can do, right? A little bit soft, a little bit texture over here. I'm gonna have a few texture over here too. And I'm gonna make this actually a little bit thicker. See that? How thick is it? Yeah, that's good. Right. We'll take care of the shadow a little bit later as a bonus. And coming over here. That's good. Now I'm gonna come in on this side. Okay. Now the line got very thin and soft. You see that? Now I control the line. Coming like this. So from thick to get a little bit thinner and softer. Now go over here. And a little bit thinner. Now I'm gonna coming over here. Now I'm gonna start make it a little bit thicker. Ready? But not make it too dark. Like this. And coming over here on this side. Now after this, I'm gonna have a little bit darker. Like this. Wow, that's good. And one more line. And now coming back over here, connect to the bottom. Now take a look at the front of this. And a little bit thicker line over here, like that. And have a little bit soft line over here. Have a little line over here. You see that? A little line, a little bit thicker, but not too dark. Like that. That's good. Now, that's good. Now I'm going to come to take a look at their toes. I see this one as a one line, a soft, thicker line like this. Now coming over here to describe the toe. And now on the top over here, I'm going to have a couple line, actually not really right, couple line like this. And that would describe a little bit thinner as the 1 foot coming over here. Now I'm going to have a very thick line that's considered the shading here as a line like that. And very thick. Okay, a little bit over here. That's good. And the same thing over here for the small toes. Okay, a little bit thicker line, but very soft. Okay, now I'm going to see probably the toes on the other side. It's okay. It's an angel. It can be anything. Like over here. Now I'm going to come on this side, a little bit thicker line, and coming down over here. And now the bottom over here, make it very thick. See that? That's coming over here, coming up like this. You see how you render the stroke. And on this side, I'm going to coming over here and then change the direction, coming down over here. And now a little bit thicker over here too. And that's good. And this almost finished, right? Now I'm going to do a little blending. I'm going to make this actually a little bit darker, coming all the way here. Also, all the finger need to work on it. Now I'm going to change it back to the hard charcoal pencil. Make it a little bit softer, like over here, right? You see the way I'm using, holding the pencil. Like this, one line. I'm going to, how many more lines? Okay, 2 more lines, right? Gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, that's good. 1 over here, and slowly, a little bit thicker. 1 over here, slowly. Now get a little bit thicker. That's good. Now look like a finger. And on this side, And there is a little bit ring like that. Now it should appear to be like the fingers. Now, alright, now I'm gonna do a little blending. And then first I'm gonna clean up top over here. Now I'm gonna show you. Just use the paper towel, a small piece of paper towel. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to blend it. Now, for example, here, blend the shadow, and on the shoulder over here, blend the arm a little bit softer. I don't need to have too much over here. Okay, a little blending. Or you can use a blender. Okay, use the blender, a little bit easier to control. Now I'm gonna have a little bit like this. Here you go. Blend a little bit, and blend this a little bit, and also blend a little bit over here. That's fine. Right? And then over here, a little blending. On here, a little blending. Now a little under here, a little blending. A little bit like that. That's good. On this side, a little blending. So after you have the line, you do a little blending. It will look like a very a loss of expressions. That's good. A little blending like that. And the wing is already there, and the little shadow is already created the shadow by using a very soft those soft line. Okay, like that. And a little line like this. You can use this. Some soft line, you can actually using the blender to do it. And the bottom over here, I'm going to have a little bit softer and create some catch the shadow. And over here too. So that's the end of this drawing process.